Welcome to our community. This is Susie Thomas with you this morning, and happy to welcome Olivia Hirschberger from Simply Give and Little Givers Club. Good morning.
Hi, Susie.
For people, there might be somebody new in town that has not heard of Simply Give or the beginnings of it, which I always think are so cool. It's just such a good story. You're a busy mom of 4 very young children.
Yes.
How did you get started doing Simply Give?
So I started Simply Give about 5 years ago. I cannot believe we're going into our 5th year. So I was at home with my babies. I have our kids now are ages 5 to 10, which is crazy that I even have a 10-year-old. And so I was at home with them. I quit my job as a hairstylist to be a stay-at-home mom. And I was getting the itch to do a little something on the side while being at home with them. So I was really praying and just thinking about what I could do, from home to make an impact on people. And my husband said, "What are your passions? What do you want to do?" And I said, "My passions are helping people, loving on people, and just being there for people." So he had mentioned that he goes, "Maybe one day you'll have a nonprofit." And I'm thinking, I have all these babies attached to my hip. I didn't go to college. I did go to beauty school, but how would I even run a nonprofit? To make a very long story short, I just decided to start a page on Facebook called Simply Give. And I came up with that name because I wanted something simple about giving. And I thought everybody can start giving. It's very simple. Just simply start giving.
And it's almost like that pay it forward kind of just surprising people by doing something nice.
Yes.
Those little moments of just surprising someone with some kind of a simple gift.
Yes. So we actually started out posting about buying someone a cup of coffee in line behind you. So that's really how Simply Give took off, was posting random acts of kindness.
Exactly. But making it something that when you think about it, if it's on the top of your mind, it's pretty easy to do. I love your idea of leaving the quarter in the Aldi's cart.
Yes, and
that's
never
really
fails.
taken off.
I hardly ever have a quarter, so it never fails that I'm digging through my purse and have the kids with me, and I'll look up and there'll be a quarter in there. So I'm just little things like that are a nice blessing and just a nice reminder that someone is being selfless and thinking about you.
You might even have had something to do with that, because
Maybe.
practically every time I go to Aldi's now, there's always quarters left in the carts. And I'm thinking, you know what? That just seems to be Aldi's protocol now, that people just do that for the next person.
Yes.
But I like to think that was begun by Simply Give.
Oh, thank you. I'll take credit for that.
Okay. Very nice. And so let's back up a minute.
Okay.
You said this is 5 years old now, and
Yes.
your youngest is 5.
Yes.
And so you were doing this with children under the age of 5.
Yes, with a child literally attached to my hip. And so, I started it when my youngest Cruz, he was, I think, 3 or 4 months old. And I actually started it, I believe, on my 30th birthday, because I made it 30 days of giving. And that was, those were some of our first posts, leaving a coupon for someone, returning a cart, doing something for our child's bus driver, different things like that. So yes, it's been 5 years, and it's been just such a blessing to see how people have come alongside us to actually force us to become a nonprofit. A lot of people saw what we were doing in the community and said, "We want to be part of what you're doing, and we want our business to contribute. Are you a 501c3?" So we, 2 years ago, or maybe going on 3 years ago, we got our official nonprofit status, and now we're hosting multiple events in the community.
It's amazing when you think about it. Do you look back and just say, "Oh my goodness, how did we get from there to here?"
I honestly do. I'm kind of shocked, because if you follow us on social media at all, I kind of put it out there, our page is about living real life and the nonprofit life. So just all about authenticity and just being your true self and being a giving person. And so I just love that people embrace that, we might not have perfect posts, or there might be a typo or two because I'm in the middle of, dinner or something, but that people are coming alongside us and just, I guess, sense that authenticity, that we really have a heart for our community and for loving on people. So it's awesome to see what God has done.
Let me throw this out there. Any thought of making this a national organization? Because this is something so duplicatable that other communities could pick up as well.
So I do have a lot of interest from other people about hosting the same kind of events that we have. But at this point, my babies are still at home. My youngest will be going to kindergarten next year. So that was my goal. I think I wrote that down 2 years ago, is to have a Simply Give local to everyone's community. So if you're in North Carolina, Carolina, you can give local to your own community, or if you're in Texas, wherever you are, to like kind of mock our events in your own way, but and just kind of make it your own, but the same concept.
But keeping it where neighbors are helping neighbors.
Yes, exactly. Everybody giving local to their own communities.
It's so brilliant, and it's not something that's expensive to run, right? You kind of started doing this out of pocket.
Yes. So for the first 2 or 3 years, it was all by we kind of funded it basically ourselves or got donations from people. So it's a huge blessing to have local business sponsorships now coming alongside us so we can put on these events. And I don't know, it's just great to have the support from people.
Very coolest thing I think I've ever seen is how quickly these packages, the overnight kind of gift bags for people who were being treated for illness when they were going into the hospital or whatever, to be able to be greeted with a gift bag that had warm fuzzy socks and nice creams and things like that. And how you were able to get all the donations and the bags donated and invite a bunch of people to a dinner, which was very smart.
Thank you.
And then line everyone up and have them just go row by row filling up the bags. Those were done in
minutes.
No time at all.
Yeah, so one of our most popular, or I should say our most supported event is our Women of Strength event, which I know you attended last year. We make chemotherapy care bags for local cancer centers, and it's been awesome too. We at first gave them to 2 local cancer centers, and now we're giving them to several. I think this past year we gave them, 8 different cancer centers. And so what we do is all those fun items that those ladies receive, and then our handwritten note is what we get the most feedback on. You know, someone goes in for their first treatment, they're scared, they're praying to God for a sign that, he's with them. And then they open our card and it says, God is with you. And there's an army of women supporting you. We believe in you. Keep fighting. You're strong. You're courageous. And so we love that we can play a small part in their journey and just remind them that they're stronger than they think. And I think that the women in the community love to write those notes and to be part of what, like you said, making those bags, because they're literally making a little special bag that's going into the hands of another woman. So they're already praying for those women and thinking of those women. And that's probably one of our most touching events. It
was amazing use of manpower, woman power.
Well, the first year we started, we made 50 bags. And this past year we made 500 bags. Wow. So it's really grown.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and it's an inspiring evening because you get to hear from survivors and have a delicious meal. And
last year it was beautiful. Last year,
really awesome. All right, well, we won't dwell on the past. Let's talk about what's
coming
up.
Sounds
you certainly have some things coming up for Simply Give, and let's talk about the fact that with your little children, a little offshoot of Simply Give is the Little Givers Club.
Yes.
What's that?
Okay, so the Little Givers Club is an organization created to teach kids about kindness. Our motto is simple. It's nice to be nice. And so just teaching our kids, hey, it's nice to be nice. Would you want someone to be nice to you? Yes. Should we give this away to someone? Yes. Why? Because it's nice to be nice. And so we started hosting events to collect food for local food pantries, and we've done an array of different things. But this year, we have some new things planned, which I'm really excited about. We believe if we make giving fun, that kids will want to do it. And so our first Little Givers Club event of 2019 is actually Saturday, February 9th at Ninja Hub. So we'll bring all these little kids together to be ninjas for an hour or two. We'll have a snack, and then we're actually collecting items for military appreciation baskets. And so we have collected items for military, I think 2 years ago, and we shipped them all overseas. But this year, we're focusing on their families. We want to recognize not only the sacrifice that our service member makes, but also the families at home. Just talking to your kids, did you know that we're in a safe country because there's mommies and daddies fighting for us, for our freedom? And so we are collecting family fun items like board games, gift certificates to local places. We're collecting recordable books so the child can record a message to their father, or if their mother or father wants to send the book back to them and be reading them a story. And so we actually have had a partnership of Greentown Intermediate School. They collected over $500 in multiple items for us to use towards these baskets, and we're actually partnering with Job and Family Services also. And so they just gave us hundreds of items to make these baskets. So the week of Valentine's Day, we'll be delivering these to local families who have a parent deployed.
So children really can think what it would be like if my parents were overseas.
Exactly.
So what they're doing is really giving something to another boy or girl, maybe around their same age, whose mom or dad is gone right now because they're serving our country.
Yes.
And are you getting buy-in from the kids?
The kids are super excited. I think they're excited to give for the cause, but also to go to Ninja Hub.
Okay, there's that
yes.
as well.
But
did they pick the Ninja Hub part of
our
it?
kids love Ninja Hub. A friend from school started it, so we've been in there a few times, and I'm like, this would be a great place for an event because it's so much fun for the kids.
Well, the idea of making giving fun. You're talking about a 10-year-old boy now. That's really not in most homes. That would not be the most charitable person or philanthropic person you're going to bump into.
Yes.
So making it a part of their daily life, the 10-year-old boy is in on it as well?
Yes, he's excited. I mean, they're kids, so of course they're going to have their selfish moments.
Sure.
But they do say, like, Mom, when's the next Little Givers Club? They like being part of doing something. It makes them feel good, even at that young age, like, okay, today we're giving to this cause. And I just think it gives them a sense of, like, satisfaction that they're helping someone. And they're kids. Kids can help people too, And
to be able to instill that at such a young age so that they grow up where that is just Tuesday, it's just a normal occurrence, and to be maybe carry it on to the next generation.
That's what the hope is. Yes.
That. Very cool. Okay, remind us again. How do we get involved with that if anyone wants to participate?
So if anyone wants to participate, you can register online if you find our Facebook or Instagram page. It's called Heart for Our Heroes. You can look us up, Little Givers Club, on both of those things, and then look up Heart for Our Heroes. If you search that on eventbrite.com, that would also come up. So register, and then you pay at the door, and Ninja Hub is actually giving us 30% back to our organization, which is awesome.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. You got some other things coming up with the Little Givers?
Okay, yes. So after that event, save the date for April, we are going to be making chemotherapy care bags for kids. And we're hosting this at the North Canton Skate Center, and it's called Caring for Kids. So we will, again, have the kids bring in items that they would like to play with, or window markers. My friend's son was in the hospital, and she said they love the window markers to write messages on their hospital windows, which you can even get those at the Dollar Tree. So we do have the April event, Caring for Kids. And then this summer, we will have a Captain Underpants themed outdoor movie. Actually, at First Christian Church, they're partnering with us. And we're going to be showing Captain Underpants. And it's going to be food trucks and an outdoor movie. And people can bring undergarments, new socks and new underwear for local schools and organizations, especially like right before back to school, they'll be distributed.
Yes.
And then our last event for Little Givers Club, we typically have 4, will be our Kindness and Canton campaign, and we're actually partnering with the Canton Charge for that.
Wow.
We're going to be doing a change drive that evening. So people will bring change, then we'll add up the change, go buy gift certificates and different things to go do random acts of kindness in Canton together.
Oh my goodness.
So I think what we're going to do is pick like 10 to 15 families and say, okay, you head to the park and you give everyone sidewalk chalk and balls. Okay, you head here and we're going to take a snow cone truck out and, give everybody in the neighborhood free, Kona ice, something along those lines. So we just want to create kindness in Canton.
Where do you get your ideas? These are great ideas.
Honestly, they kind of just come to me. I think, okay, what's something a little bit different? What's a little bit outside of the box? There's so many things that, collecting school supplies, which are so needed, different things like that. So I'm like, what's something a little bit different that we can do just to give back in a different, fresh way?
Now, there's not really a website, right? You pretty much do most stuff on social media.
Yes, I do need to get a website.
That's okay. That's all right. You're doing just fine with the social media part of it. How do people get all the information?
If you go to Little Givers Club on either Facebook or Instagram.
Perfect.
And eventually that website will be coming.
That's all right. We're with Olivia Hirschberger with Simply Give and Little Givers Club. We'll be back after these words. You're listening to Our Community.